Thank you for watching. I'm John Razimus. This is part 3 in UFOs, Aliens, and the Occult. I was going through some old MUFON magazines, and I found another one. Matter of fact, I bought only 2 MUFON magazines, so I don't have a stack of these. I only have 2. But the second one I have talked about the Mexico City UFO, and I will cover this in the future. It's definitely some of the best footage of any UFO ever recorded. And I'm going to touch upon that in the nature of UFOs, the next segment on that. But concerning the occult, I'm very familiar with the Mothman Prophecies, the movie. My sister actually read the books. She's a big fan of anything Mothman book related. I didn't read the books, so I'm going to have to ask her opinion on if she could pick up any key details. But I just read an article starting with this magazine, 1997. Wow, this is very old. So this Mexico City UFO incident happened in 1997, August 6th, supposedly. I will talk about that in the future. But I found an article which talked about spacemen, demons, and conspiracies. It talked about John Keel, who is the author of the Mothman Prophecies. And it talked about how he believed UFOs, aliens, were demonic. Even though John Keel claims to be, or claimed, past tense, he has since passed on, rest in peace, claimed to be an atheist. So he was an atheist with an open mind enough to see that, you know what? There's something sinister going on with these UFOs, sporadically seen by a few people here and there. There's something sinister going on with people claiming to be abducted. There's a pattern, a repeating pattern of deception. And it doesn't seem to even be stemming from humans. Although humans using ufology and abductees, supposedly, to sell products and go in a different direction of deception is another story. But aliens, extraterrestrials, flying saucers, UFOs, I believe there could be physical flying saucers out there. There could be physical extraterrestrials out there. But UFOs, aliens, and the occult is going to focus on the occult. And this is the first time I read that John Keel believed aliens were demons. I was blown away. I was like, whoa, the Mothman Prophecies author. He kind of hinted at it, or at least the screenplay based on his books hinted at it in the movie, The Mothman Prophecies. As some have already said, the Mothman Prophecies movie was very dull. It was kind of like a Lifetime movie. All the interesting stuff that could have been put in that movie, such as a sighting of a giant Mothman, or even a small Mothman, were cut out of the movie. Tiny glimpses and flashes. Most of the movie is Richard Gere just doing his thing. It might as well have been a police investigation movie with a private detective and virtually nothing to do with aliens or Mothmen. But it was greatly hinted at, even in that movie, that this entity that appeared as a Mothman could be demonic. I already did an episode on the Mothman Prophecies. You can see that in an episode called The Attributes of Demons. But I liked this quote, and I highlighted it. It said, "It becomes evident that the project got abandoned at an early point, and the author decided to focus in on the very few select heresies that he fears will give ufology an occultist aura." You see, a lot of ufologists, they see the occult as something to stay away from. They run away from aliens or demons like the plague. John Keel didn't, and I do not. Let me just give a really simple illustration, the simplest illustration I can possibly give, on my opinion, connecting aliens and spirits. This piece of paper right here represents spirits. Let me zoom in so you can get a really good look at this thing. As you can see, spirits leave zero evidence behind. There's nothing left. There's nothing, okay? Spirits leave nothing. They leave zero physical evidence behind. It's kind of their hallmark. Whether they're good spirits, bad spirits, angels, or demons, they leave no physical evidence behind. Occasionally you'll see a show where some guy got a scratch on his arm, and it's very easily to fake something like that. The scratch on the arm trick doesn't fool me. I want to see some real evidence. But concerning aliens, let's investigate. Let's take a look. How are aliens similar to spirits? This piece of paper represents aliens. Let me zoom in so you can see it real close. As you can see, just like with spirits, these supposed aliens leave zero physical evidence behind. There are a million UFO apologists giving the cheapest scapegoat excuses as to why these aliens don't leave anything behind. They are so advanced. They can time travel and like just steal the Polaroids straight out of your camera, man. They're so advanced. They follow you your whole life after abducting you. And if you tell someone, they'll Men in Black wipe the memory of that person, man. They'll cover every track. You heard about the Men in Black. They show up in a Cadillac. They're dressed in black. They do their thing. Bada bing, bada boom, bada boom, bada bing. I don't think so, all right? I don't believe and buy any of those cheap excuses. Spirits leave zero physical evidence behind. Aliens, or these supposed aliens, leave zero physical evidence behind. Flying saucers, or supposed flying saucers, leave zero physical evidence behind. Which leaves us with Roswell. Is there anything physical? Only the government really knows. Which leaves us with Area 51. Was Bob Lazar telling the truth? Are there secret hangars and secret covered flying saucer hangars out in a facility called S4 close to Area 51? I will talk about Bob Lazar in The Nature of UFOs in the future. Bob Lazar is an interesting story. He's hard to read. I believe I came across some information on Bob Lazar I would like to share. Nothing groundbreaking, but it's always interesting to look at these key figures in ufology. John Keel, renowned paranormal investigator, author, ufologist. He believed in his gut that there's something sinister about these deceptive aliens. Something sinister about these UFOs that vanish and leave zero physical evidence behind. I would be happier than anything to see a treasure trove of alien wreckage from a flying saucer, flying triangle, flying cube, flying sphere, whatever shape these crafts are. And I've seen some crazy things. I talked about a few UFO encounters, And later in this series, I will focus more on actual flying saucers, on actual UFOs. As you can see, the first 3 parts focuses primarily on aliens, or supposed aliens. But I have a story where I did see an alien, which looked similar to this keychain in the year 2002. Someone gave me this keychain as a gift from Sedona, Arizona. I don't collect too much alien-related paraphernalia, if you want to call it that. But I'm interested in the subject. Not that much, though. I don't have alien dolls and alien t-shirts. I have a keychain and that sign. And my sister, she gave me this sign. I believe she bought it at the same place where they bought that alien keychain in Sedona. So other than that sign and that keychain, I'm not rocking alien stuff 24/7. I'm not reading alien books. So alien imagery is not something that really is permeating my dreams, for example. So it was out of the ordinary in 2002 when I experienced an alien gray at the foot of my bed. This is a true story. I thought I didn't mention it, but I apparently have mentioned it in 2 of my videos, but only vaguely. I've never told the whole story from A to Z. So I moved to Nebraska. Not that long after, I get an apartment. It's a very small apartment, very simple. I'm going to sleep for the night, and the room is very plain. There's a lamp, a desk, a bed. That's about it. There's nothing elaborate in the room. The room is very plain. I just start to drift off and go to sleep. So I'm definitely in the dreaming stages, probably, having a dream, when all of a sudden I notice that I'm paralyzed. And it's scary. So I'm paralyzed in my bed. I can't move my arms. I can't move my legs. Classic sleep paralysis, you might say. But I think this extra part might not be classic. It's more in the realm of a horror movie like Freddy Krueger. And I'm not a huge Freddy Krueger fan, so I don't think this is inspired by Freddy Krueger. At this point, maybe I saw 1 Freddy Krueger movie in my life, but not close enough where I would say my subconscious took it from the movie. It's just a theme from the dream nightmare Freddy Krueger movies that would fit. It could be put into a screenplay and very easily mesh up in that universe. So this is what happened. Apologize for the tangents. I'm frozen. I can't move my arms, can't move my legs. I look up, I open my eyes, and I see my room exactly as it is. I see my feet underneath my blankets. I see my bed. I see the table. I don't really see the lamp, but it's over there. I see the door. I see everything as it's supposed to be. Can't move. But I look up a little bit more. I see a gray alien standing at the foot of my bed. It's a pretty small bed, so it's very close. And I got a pretty good look at it. And I've never drawn it, but I will draw it for this episode. And this drawing of the room and what the alien looked like standing at the foot of my bed looked like. It was near the left side of the foot of my bed, close to the corner of my bed. It was just looking at me. Its mouth had no facial expression, just a simple line. Its eyes were big, but not exaggeratedly as big as you see in the movies. They were big for a human, insanely big for a human, but they were a lot smaller than the eyes you would see on the classic. I said it kind of looked like a Whitley Strieber in a previous video, but upon really recalling exactly what it looked like, and I've even used this imagery, its eyes definitely had closed around. So it's kind of like a squinting. It had the ability to squint, whereas some aliens don't even seem to have eyelids. This alien had eyelids. It might have even had an eyelid on the bottom and an eyelid on the top. It definitely at least had an eyelid on the top. And it was looking at me, and its look was just staring at me like, how's it going, dude? Kind of like it was definitely demonic. The look was, sup, except I don't know. It's hard to describe, but the alien wasn't surprised. I was the one frozen and freaking out, and it was like, it didn't move its neck like that. It was totally still. It was about 3 foot tall or 3.5 foot tall. Very short, but the distance to me being on the bed and it being standing up, it seemed tall-ish from my perspective. 3 foot, 3.5 foot. It was a very low bed. So I try to move, and seeing it freaks me out even more. And I try to move, and I try to move, and I try to move. I'm like, whoa, maybe I'm in a dream. When I realize I'm in a dream, I wake up, and the room looks exactly in real life as it looked in the dream. So the trick, if this was a demonic entity, if this was an incubus, if this was a negative alien, whatever you want to call it, I think this could have been 100% a dream. But how many dreams have you had where the dream looked identical to real life in real time? I've had dreams where I've been to places I've recognized, but I've never had a dream where the dream was 100% from the perspective of my bed, looking at my room that looked exactly like my room looked like when I woke up. I've never experienced that before, never experienced it since. And I said I've seen the gray alien twice. A few years later, I think I saw one looking over me for a split second while trying to sleep. And that's the only second time. I may or may not have. That could have been my imagination. That could have been a dream. But as far as this one, I saw it very clearly. I saw how its eyes looked. It was white-ish gray. Very light shade of gray. Shady shade of white. Very classic. But I got to see the details. The first time I've ever seen the details. I'm convinced aliens are demons based on that encounter alone. Yes, it was a dream. But it was a dream projected into my head of my room by what I believe was a dream demon. Dream demons, also known as an incubus, they have the ability to project dreams into your subconscious, into your mind, while you're sleeping or while you're trying to sleep. They have that ability to project whatever they want you to see. It's almost like the movie Strange Days, 1995, where you put on a squid device, which is a super VR that connects to your brain, virtual reality, and you get to see what other people saw, and it's recorded from the other people's brains. Demonic entities, specifically dream demon demonic entities, have this ability. I can say I've had a number of negative entity themed dreams, and I'll talk about that. It's too scary to go into great detail. So I was in a dream. I realized I was in the dream. I woke up. Everything was exactly as the dream, exactly to a T. My foot, under the covers, the door, everything was exactly the same, except for the alien was no longer standing at the foot of my bed in real life. I was freaked the freak out. I was looking around for the alien because he was that real. So, understandably, most definitely I was in a dream, I admit that. But it was a dream that seems to have been projected onto me, possibly by a negative entity. If you have also been stuck in a dream within a dream, we're talking a freaking Inception situation, let me know. And that Inception type nightmare situation, I've seen it vaguely referenced in the Freddy Krueger movies. I have not seen all the Freddy Krueger movies, but when I was a kid, I did watch a Freddy Krueger movie with 3D glasses, and it really freaked me out. And Freddy was like, ugh, and the glasses made you see like his claws like go through your face. It was scary. If I watched it again, it'd probably be very corny and very unscary. It's possible that negative entity pretending to be an alien projected my room into my head, projected itself as an alien at the foot of my bed, and used the natural process of sleep paralysis to trick me into thinking I was paralyzed at its power, when really I was probably just paralyzed by being in a dream. So I do believe in regular sleep paralysis, but I believe in a negative entity demonic version I call false sleep paralysis. One time I was attacked when I was awake, and I could walk, I could move around, and I was being attacked. And someone left a comment saying that was classic sleep paralysis. When you're awake and you can move, that's not sleep paralysis, period. The alien at the foot of my bed was definitely more classic, but the duplicate of the dream looking exactly like my room doesn't seem too classic, doesn't seem too common. But let me know if that's happened to you, so I can at least know if it's sort of common or sort of rare. John Keel. I'm going to continue to investigate John Keel, his theories on why he believed these entities were negative spirits as opposed to physical aliens. John Keel claims that through communicating with the contactees of these supposed aliens, that the entities could communicate with him via the telephone. He would pick it up, get a creepy demonic message through the telephone, and it couldn't be traced anywhere. Now, luckily, if the demons never called me up on the phone, that would freak me the freak out. So I'm going to continue to investigate John Keel's perspective. I think John Keel holds a lot of weight. His research, he has since passed on, but his research is still of great importance. There's a lot more in this and other sources I have collected and come across I'm going to be talking about in the next episode. As far as my set, I might have to scrap it. I like it, but I want something new. I want a new change. And I've been working on a new theme for Occult Unmasked. This entire series is related to Occult Unmasked. And until next time, I thank you for watching. This has been John Razimus with Occult Unmasked. Be seeing you. Big thanks go out to the Wicked Seven for the great support of this channel. They put a John Razimus sticker on the back of their car. That is phenomenal. Thank you for spreading the word about this channel.